If you're on the path to being a bookkeeper, you might be confused about what order to do things, like which training do I need to take when should I set up my business, at what point am I ready to get clients? If so, you're not alone. I have tons of people asking me all these questions every day. So in this video, I'm going to break down as clearly as possible what order to do your bookkeeper training. I'm Morgan from FinePoints.biz, and my goal is to help you get organized. Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you're excited about it, and hit the red subscribe button down below. So I'm going to give you the short answer right now if that is all you want, and then I'll have timestamps, so if you have specific questions about a specific training, then you can go to that part. And if I missed anything that you're wondering, definitely leave me a comment down below and ask the question there. So the short answer is I kind of see it in 3 phases. So first is the setup phase, where you set up your business and get some training. And then next is the experience phase, where you try to put your book knowledge into practice. And then the third is when you get clients. And you don't need an advanced degree to be a bookkeeper. You don't need a specific certification, but you just have to know what you're doing. And I do have a really helpful decision tree chart. It looks like this. So within that, there are tons and tons of links to a million resources. Okay, not really a million, but a large amount of resources that both mine and other people's that are going to help you out depending on which step of the decision tree you are at. So that link is in the description box to download that chart if you're interested for free. All right, so the first part, I'm going to talk about 3 things to think about as you're starting your bookkeeping business, to kind of as you're deciding which path to take. The first one is, what experience do you already have? So maybe in a different industry, just to maybe clarify it, maybe you want to start a construction company, and you could come at that a variety of ways, right? So maybe you had a summer job working for someone else's construction company and you really decided you want to do it. Maybe from the time you were 5 years old, you always knew you wanted to do that. So you went to college specifically for that, business management or construction management, and you have the goal of making a giant construction empire when you're done. Or maybe you have a different full-time job and you just like to flip houses on the side. So you want to think about what experiences you have going into this business. Number 2, you want to think about what are your goals. Again, do you want to make a giant bookkeeping and accounting conglomerate? Wait, that's not the right word, like a giant corporation where you hire many people and they're working under you. Is that your final goal? Or do you kind of just want to test the waters of bookkeeping? That's how I was. I was like, I want to earn a little extra money while I have some little kids at home. And so because of that, I wasn't ready to invest a ton of time and money into my bookkeeping business. Now, in hindsight, I have been doing it now for a long time. Hindsight is 20/20, so maybe I should have invested a little bit more up at the beginning and not been so cheap. But that's where I was at the time, and that's totally legit. And number 3, think about your personality. Are you someone that is able to just dive into projects and kind of figure things out as you go? Or do you need to have a very systematic plan in place? Or do you need to have tons of experience before you have the confidence to go out on your own? So think those things through as you're deciding on your path. And one caveat to this is the reason why you're so confused probably is that there are a lot of different people with a lot of different opinions about this. So I'm giving you my personal opinion. If you disagree with it, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Some people are shocked that you want to be a bookkeeper, but you don't know debits and credits. But again, there's lots of different paths and lots of different ways to get experience. So first question, should I get certified or start my business first? So starting your business would be like setting up your LLC, getting a business name, a website. I have a video and a free checklist all about that. It's one of my most popular videos. It looks like this. You might have already watched it. In this video right here, I talk all about different certifications, and I have this beautiful color-coded PDF that you can download that has all the information and prices about the certifications that I talk about. So back to the question, which should you do first? In my opinion, I think you can do these things simultaneously. So I think this is part of the setup stage of creating your business. And oftentimes, depending on how many hours you can dedicate per day or per week, setting up your business, getting your LLC and that kind of thing isn't going to take you like a full work day. Like maybe you'll apply for your LLC, that'll take half an hour, and then you have to wait for, someone to get back to you, things like that. I do have a class all about setting up your business in 30 days called Bookkeeper Business Coach that I'll link down below. And your learning section might take more time, but you'll probably need some brain breaks. So anytime you're studying for long periods of time or learning something new, you might need to alternate between, creating your business and learning QuickBooks. So I kind of see those things as interwoven. It's part of you getting up and getting going. Second question, should I get my QuickBooks ProAdvisor certification before or after I get my National Bookkeeping Certification. Again, in that video, I talk about what the national certifications are. You do not have to get one of those. So out of those two things, I would say it doesn't really matter. I would probably start, anytime you're paying for a big course like this one or like Bookkeeper Launch, I would probably do the big course first because it could give you either help or it could contain the thing that you're trying to do, the other ProAdvisor certification that you're trying to do. And if you don't know what the free QuickBooks ProAdvisor certification is, I have a video all about it that looks like this. So, and again, between these two, the national certification is going to take you a lot longer than the ProAdvisor. So you could do your ProAdvisor in like a week. So it's really like small potatoes compared to the bigger one. And I know there is a newer bookkeeper certification through QuickBooks, so I am going to do some research on that and have a video out for you guys in the fall about that. So let me know in the comments if you are interested in that. All right, next question, should I set up my business before taking Bookkeeper Launch? Similarly, should I get my ProAdvisor training before taking Bookkeeper Launch? So if you decide to invest in the program Bookkeeper Launch, which is actually my favorite and most comprehensive bookkeeper program, depending on your expectations, it might seem like it has a bit high price tag, but I 100% think that Bookkeeper Launch is worth it because you can earn back that money very quickly once you get your first couple clients. So if you sign up for Bookkeeper Launch, I would not do anything else to prepare. You can just start that one knowing nothing, then you come out of it with your ProAdvisor certification. With a certification from Bookkeeper Launch, you have had experience practicing in QuickBooks, and they give you guidance on how to market and get your first couple clients and beyond. So all that to say, if you're thinking of taking that particular course, don't do any preparation. Don't take any QuickBooks classes or anything before it. That's like a good way to start at ground zero. Should I get a 4-year degree before starting bookkeeping? So this is an interesting question to me because I got a 4-year degree. I was an English major, so something kind of totally random compared to what I'm doing now. But I mean, I'm a big proponent of going to college and getting a degree. I think that was kind of what was always expected of me, so I didn't really stray from that path. I think that can be changing now as people, do different careers or trades. So I guess just because of my background, I'm hesitant to tell anyone not to get a 4-year degree. But that being said, you don't need that to be a bookkeeper. As long as you know what you're doing, then you are good to go. There's no one that is going to check if you have a degree or not. So maybe you're a high school student who's really ambitious and wants to start a bookkeeping business and you have a 5-year plan and you want to make X amount of money. I do believe that you can be successful in that case. I mean, with an undergraduate degree, it gives you more options too, should you decide on different career paths. So I won't say too much more about that because I feel like most of you guys aren't trying to make that decision. Either you already have your undergrad degree or you're not planning to get it. A note about college courses, they can be a really good asset if you're trying to like DIY your bookkeeping training. So when I started out, I didn't feel like I could afford to pay for more expensive trainings, so I took courses at my local college. Or similarly, if you're already getting your degree, maybe you want to do something that's finance-based or accounting-based. Same with getting an associate's. All right, next question is, should you take my class, Bookkeeper Business Coach, before getting your QuickBooks certification or Bookkeeper Launch or other things? So my class is only about setting up your business. So getting your LLC, website, business name, business license, those things. And I also walk you through how to sign up as a QuickBooks ProAdvisor and give you some tips and tricks about that. So again, if you're going to pay for a big course like Bookkeeper Launch or some of the bigger bookkeeper certifications, just do the big one first, because most likely the things that are contained in my class are also in that. So for example, in Bookkeeper Launch, they have a section called Setup 7, and that is all the same things that are included in my class. The difference is mine is just a small piece, so it is much more affordable. So if you're kind of going like the DIY route, trying to save money, but you do want a little bit of guidance, then my class might be a good fit. Right now, it is priced at $150. So I think kind of my theme is whatever the biggest thing that you're going to pay for, do that first, and then see what's included in there, and then you can kind of piecemeal together other holes that you might need to fill. All right, next question is, should I become a CPA before I start my bookkeeping business? And it's definitely not necessary. But this kind of goes back to the first one, your career path and what your goals are and what your background is. So if you're already on the CPA path, and that stands for Certified Public Accountant, so to be a CPA, it is a very regulated field, unlike being a bookkeeper. So to be a CPA, you have to pass certain tests, you have to do continuing education every year to keep up your license. So obviously that schooling is going to cost more and you're going to be able to charge a higher rate for your services. But if you fit more into the bucket of, I'm just going to try out this bookkeeping thing, see how it goes, I wouldn't even bother with a CPA route. But if you're really serious about this and you know you want more schooling and it's your lifelong career, then go ahead and do it. Look into it being a CPA. That's actually something I've thought about just to kind of expand my skills, again, be able to charge more, and just more be like a certified official person in my field. If you appreciate all the free content that I put out, there is a link in my description box called Buy Me a Coffee, which is kind of like Patreon. So check that out if you're interested, as well as it always is such a compliment to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for another video every single week. Thank you guys so much for your support and all of your comments and encouragement. I really appreciate it. All right, I will talk to you again next week. Thank you.